Hello, Alchemedians! Welcome back!
It's been a while, but we're back.
And we're gonna talk about something that I personally don't really have a clue what it really is, but honestly, this was more his idea, so take it away.
Okay, we are gonna go with 10 characters worse than Scrappy Doo. For a long time, Scrappy's been considered maybe the worst character in animation. And while he is annoying, there was a point to him in the show. We are going to pick 10 characters worse than him in either past or modern day cartoons that actually the shows weren't bad, but these characters were bad.
So technically, I would describe this list as the top 10 worst characters of all time, cartoon characters of all time, but for this list, we're gonna do 10 characters worse than Scrappy Doo.
There will be no honorable mentions because there might be other parts of this list as we go on.
And also, if you disagree with us in any way, let us know in the comments. And now, let's get started.
Number 10 is Cleo from Clifford. Normally, I wouldn't say much about a preschool show, but this one, she kind of ruined the show in her episodes. She was very condescending, and I get it that there was may have been a point to this, but it seems like that would be a point to the antagonist, not a side character. And I just think she could have had a better story, and she kind of took it down a bad path in as far as shows go, and for this, unnecessary to this storyline.
Number 9 on the list is Nia from Lego Ninjago. And this is where it comes the part of the list where we start describing more on why it is more hated and more stuff that we have reasoning for. So let me tell you, Nia started off super good. She was a sister, annoying sometimes, but you know what, she was alright. And then she became part of the ninjas. And then she was like, yeah, I also want to be a ninja too, which is fine. Have no problem with that. It became a problem when she started to wanting to be a girlfriend of a lot of the other ninjas. Even though one of her main people she was with was the blue ninja, she flirted with everybody. Besides her brother, that'd be weird. And then she wanted to be the green ninja, and it's like she already met the green ninja, and she literally tells the green ninja that she still wants to be the green ninja even though she's not. She is herself, and she doesn't really do much to add or any Ninjago tornadoes to do anything. She's just kind of there to just be annoying and useless to a lot of the plot and just to flirt with everybody. Okay, let's get in the show in a row for this one. Okay, number 8, April O'Neil. May I add, in the 2011 show. Because I'll admit, she is needed because all the Ninja Turtles need an April O'Neil. But was this one really necessary to give psychic powers to? Was this one really necessary to have the smartest turtle flirt with and Casey Jones to flirt with also? Was it really necessary for her to have any personality in this? Because anything she said was annoying in every way and kind of backtrack the turtles from doing anything. In fact, I even argue the ninja in the show, the girl ninja, way better of a character, and if April was just replaced by her, way better series, and honestly much more enjoyable and less cringe moments to where I just feel like pausing the show and time to take a breather.
Number 7 is Brock from Pokemon. Oh man, I'm probably gonna get a lot of comments about this one. But Brock just seemed like he was a waste of a character space. There was no real point to Brock being there that couldn't have been resolved from another character taking his place. And they showed it later that an original character could have actually filled his spot better. He was his only real joke was Misty kind of dragging him off, and even those got really cringy after the first or second time. Plus, I think he kind of absorbed a lot of Pokemon that would have been actually better on Ash's team for storyline that he kind of just didn't use at all. And the Pokemon you wanted to see, he never used. I would have to say, yeah, even Brock belongs on this list. Number 6, Dejanay Jones from the Proud Family. I really like the Proud Family. It was one of my favorite shows growing up. And I could never stand this character. It seems like, yes, in that time in your life you have some toxic friends, but that one went above and beyond to be horrible. It seems like Dejanay was actually a worse character than La Cienega. And you should never have a side character be actually worse than the antagonist. The show would have actually done better in the new version to get rid of her. Just have, an original character take her place, but they kept her in this roster, and it was one of the things I didn't like about the re-release that I actually kind of liked otherwise.
Next up on number 5 is a 2-in-1. One and all for the sake of annoyance. And lucky enough, the main character is the one that is mainly annoyed, but they're so annoying, they made it on this list. Gzilla and Minerva from Garfield Show. They never came from the comics. They never existed until the Garfield Show. Granted, 2 little girls were probably really happy to be like, yes, I get to be with Garfield. I'm a huge fan of Garfield. I get to be on his show. What now? We're gonna be the 2 little girls that is the whole annoyance of this show. And nobody is happy with, even in the show. Maybe they were happy with being on set because they were trying to be annoying, which granted, good on for the people that tried to do that. But they really, really did not have to go hard on being that much of an annoyance to be an annoyance of Garfield. I mean, Normal exists. Just have Normal show up. Even though he was annoying, there was a point of him being annoying because he actually showed up in the comics. They kind of just exist to make more of characters that don't even need to be needed in the show. Next up on the list, Bakugo, number 4. Why? They literally gave up on this character. They did it in a way of they still gave him plot development in a way, but they kind of gave him. Well, let's start from the beginning, shall we? He was kind of there just so Deku can be brave enough to run into a fire to give him powers, give Deku powers, so that All Might can see him doing something for his friend who was always complaining. The thing is, it didn't have to be a guy who was always mad and always just angry at everything that anyone ever does. There's no point to him literally being angry at everything. He has no story in a way that he's just angry. As a child, angry. As an adult, angry as a teenager. Guess what? Very calm. No, he's angry. He is angry 24/7. Everybody's scared of him. And he even knows it. And it's like, he still knows he's scary to them. And he yells at them that they're not trying hard enough because he knows that they are stronger, but he doesn't really know they're strongest in a way, even though like he's the smartest. He's also allowed in the school to actually compete with other heroes, even though this is a school, even though this is a power school. It also is a school for heroes to train for the fact to help people be calm around in every scenario. This guy will make everybody scared that they're saved. There's a lot to Bakugo that just screams, literally screams. This character has no character besides angry. And after a whole lot of explanation through so much of the seasons and so much of the story, that's all I can say.
Okay, there's no surprise that DW from Arthur's on this list, is there? I mean, she has literal memes about how bad she is. I was almost tempted to put her parents above her, and while I don't like that, that might be another list. DW is maybe the worst character on PBS as a whole. I don't know how much this was supposed to be intentional because, frankly, I remember reading the books when I was little and I don't remember her being that bad in the book. So this was a conscious choice to make her that bad in the series.
Number 2, and we have to both be here for this horrible, disgraceful character. We don't even know how it came to animation.
Yeah. Animaniacs has been long one of my favorite all-time shows.
Same here, and there was a time where I honestly got introduced by him, Animaniacs, and how funny it is, and yeah.
This character not only is maybe one of the worst characters in animation, it might be one of the worst characters, period. And we have to go with Mindy's mom.
If there was a reason protection services exist now, it would be her. And if there was a reason for child protection services to exist now, it would be her.
To a point, you get a character is there, just a story could happen. But there is another point where she's literally just leaving the dog in charge. I mean, it might be funnier if he left him with, like, a person that fell asleep, like in Rugrats. You could understand that. But this character is so irredeemable that there's no... And then when she does finally get her daughter back safe, she punishes the dog.
And let's be clear here. She does not show up anywhere near the middle to know what's happening. She just shows up at the end and then punishes the dog for no reason.
Right.
And says that even if the kid is fine, she punishes the dog and literally throws them out the window.
And while we're watching this, like, in these 8-minute intervals, this was, these shows were shown in their timeline to be hours. So she left her daughter with the dog for literal hours on usually a string or a tether in the middle of the yard. Or sometimes that one episode that was in the pool.
Yeah, just holy, like this one's not even joke worthy of like.
Yeah, we're 100% being serious when we're saying that this is like if this was just worse moms, she would be at the top of the list. But there
is someone else.
There is one character worse that we can think of. My sentiments exactly. Yeah.
Number 1, Myrtle from Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. This one isn't a surprise to anyone that has watched either the show or the movies.
Yeah, we already talked about how bad Mindy's mom is and how serious that was. This takes a bad, like a really mean character, mean-spirited character, and supposed to be mean-spirited character, and takes them to another level of why do they exist? Why are they hurting everybody's souls?
And the worst part is that there's really no reason for it to go that bad. Yeah, we get it. There's no reason for her to be that bad. I mean, even Hamster Wheel says in the show that he's worse or she's worse than him. And again, when your villain is not as bad as a side character, you have a problem.
Yeah, and honestly, show would probably do well without her. You'd follow an alien and the girl Lilo, Lilo and Stitch, beautiful little partnership, fighting crime and fighting monsters to save monsters and give them to other people. But no, they have to put in this devil of a character that is literally Satan.
From making fun of Lilo's dead parents.
And from the second movie.
To literally hating on the people that she says are her best friends. I don't understand. Again, even if you needed this character, there was a lot of things that could have been left out that would have not changed anything.
She had no reason to do anything she's ever did. Literally, Lilo just shows up and she's like, "You're crazy." At that point, it was fine because she was talking about Pudge the Fish. But the moment everything happens on TV was the moment she became stronger and a more feared character in our eyes. And all child's eyes who see this character on the screen. I am so sorry. You have to go through that.
Yeah, after the first movie, they could have wrote her off the show, and it would have actually improved the show a lot. And the fact that she was still on the show for unknown reasons made the whole show worse. And that is the reason why she will probably be at the top of the list.
I honestly prefer if... Yeah, she's not even the villain. Like you said, she's just kind of there. She's not even like a big baddie like Jumbo or Pleakley. Well, Pleakley was part of the team, but like still.
Yeah.
Like Ruben.
I know what you meant.
Yeah. It's just... I
think she even took away spots from a villain to actually be in the show. Like, it would actually... the airtime she took would have been actually a better time to actually make a villain kind of more credible. But yeah, this character was just not even evil, just that cruel, and there's a problem with that.
I'll even say something. She was so useless. She was even like a main
or had a big part in Leroy and Stitch. She didn't really play a big part. She didn't really say anything. And that was something to take a note of, because that was our pride and joy for an ending.
And the best, and it's telling when a character gets burned, and that's a scene that most people remember about her friends making fun of her for not having a dad. That was the telling part of that whole movie.
Just
No.
Anyway, that was it, our Alchemedians. Hope you enjoyed, and hope you got to listen to us vent about a lot of the things we hated from these characters. And if you got mad or you agree, say it in the comments and we will respond if we can.
And if you have a character you don't like, please put it in the comments. We will review it, and maybe we'll make another one of these lists.
And don't forget to hit that like button.
And subscribe.
Take care. Love y'all.